Wait, let me see your teeth.
See this on the recording later. What are they doing?
He's coming as content. You won't let me share it. Look, help me. What do I do? How do I just give me the link? That's not what I want to do. I just want
All right, welcome everyone, and give yourself a round of applause. Come on now. Yes. As many of you know, I have some special guests for all of you today, and there actually have been regulars on the live chat, but they have so much great work that I want to share their experience with all of you out there. So that's why we're going to be talking about wedding photography. That's cameras, lenses, lighting, experiences, ups, downs, left, rights, and all the above. So with all that said, let's get to it.
Join me every Thursday on YouTube for another live show of Let's Talk Photography. We cover the latest. Join me every Thursday on YouTube for another live show of Let's Talk Photography. We cover the latest news, interviews with today's industry leaders, tips, tricks, lighting, cameras, and the business of photography. My weekly live stream is all about crowd participation. You're encouraged to ask questions, talk about the cool camera gear you've got or the camera gear you want to get. Hell, you could just join our open panel discussion during our Q&A portion of the show. The cost of access to Let's Talk Photography is very, very low. For today only, I'm hosting a very low price of free $99 to subscribe and press that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming live streams. Now let's get back to the show.
Yes, welcome everyone. I know. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit too much because I have some very fun guests for you today. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Before we get into the photo news, I want to introduce today's guest. And we have together with us right now, we have Mark and Tiffany of LimeTree Photo. Let's welcome all to the club, everybody. Come on. Yes, I'm very happy to have you both on today's show. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And some of you might remember Tiffany because about, what was it, a year ago? Was it more than that?
Was it a year ago?
It has
I
to
don't
be.
know.
It's been a while now at this point.
It's been a whirlwind.
I think it was early to this 2024. Wow, I think it was over a year. But nonetheless, welcome back. I'm really happy to have you here. And we got her other half, Mark Tisdale Jr., which a lot of you may know from the live chat. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's real.
I'm here.
He's a real guy.
Yeah, exactly. Now, with that said, I've been watching both of you really killing it in the wedding photography and always hearing how busy you two are. I'm just like, there's got to be some nuggets in there from when we last spoke to now. Like, things must be rocking, and I'm hearing the gear. Okay, so we could do some gas and talk about some gear, right? Later on about what you use. And we'll talk about the experience. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some of this photography news of this week. First of all, we do have a couple of comments. Let's go check them out right now. By the way, everybody. Oh, let me get this out the way, actually. I'm so sorry. Right now, make sure you go ahead and follow LimeTree Photo on IG at LimeTree Photo. Who would have thought? There you go. Very obvious, but keep it simple is what I say, right?
That's right.
You know, I still get people who go like this. They see my shirt and they say, "What's your name?" Okay, you know, I'll give you a hot second. It's a hot day. And with that said, everybody, make sure you go ahead and smash that like, share, and subscribe. You already know that, believe it or not, the algorithm matters. All all engagement matters. I need to wear a shirt that says that. Okay. And hit that bell icon because I have some great guests coming up. Aside from these two great guests, let me share this news, everybody. I have confirmed. First and foremost, make sure you go ahead and follow me because if you haven't, naughty. Okay. You make sure you go follow me on all the socials. All right. Because believe it or not, a lot of you hit me up on the socials, mostly Instagram, but you guys really reach out to me and I get some really in-depth questions. And all I ask is you subscribe. That's it. I don't ask for hourly rates, all sorts of stuff. There are times where people call me. I'm like, you know what? This is too much. Last night, actually, I talked to somebody for 30 minutes and it was about shooting runway photography. And all I wanted them to do was just tag me. Let me see your photos. That's all I wanted. So, with that said, if you get better, I get better. If I get better, I'm just going to share my experience. So go ahead and follow me on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads and Twitter or whatever it's called. I still call it Twitter. I don't care. All right. Now, even though today we're talking about wedding photography, in 2 weeks' time, that's right. In 2 weeks' time, I have, okay, hold on. Let me get I got to do this. I have Joe Edelman's going to be on the show. Come on. He's an amazing portrait beauty photographer in general. I'll be quite honest. He's like an encyclopedia of photography. Okay. He was there with the film, the transition into digital, and now we're here in the mirrorless world, all trying to make sure that we don't fall off the edge of this flat earth we live on. Okay. And he's going to be his work is phenomenal. He was the ambassador for, I believe, 5 years over at Olympus. And even before that, he was among the first photographers I followed on YouTube back in like 2012, 13. And I've followed him ever since on all the socials. And yes, I did feel like a fanboy when I saw him at WPPI 2 years ago, and I got myself a selfie. So there you go. Shout out to me. Okay. Now, so with that said, next week we have him. And then the week after that, November 7th. I keep saying it's October. So that's on Halloween. And then the week after that, we have, oh my goodness, we have this man right here. We have John Grease coming in. Yes, we have John Grease. He will be blessing us with all his knowledge of studio portrait photography and lighting. And I love seeing his work. He's a great guy, first and foremost. But outside of that, his knowledge is amazing. And I just love what he does in the studio. And since I do a lot of studio stuff too, I just have to not give him his salutes and his flowers while he's here, you know? And with that said, I want to bring some of his knowledge, his experience, and personality to this show. He was happy to join us. So October 7th, you definitely don't want to miss that show either. And I'm going to be having more interviews coming up. So if any of you, Tiffany, Mark, anybody you think bigger photographers, so you're like, hey, go reach out to them. I'm going to reach out to them. I got a few in mind on YouTube I think would be great. And even newer photographers, like folks up and coming, but have some talent. You know, I want to showcase more photographers on my channel besides, well, me. So
we got some people. We got some people we can think of. I said we got some people we could throw at you.
Totally. We'll do that. And I'll even open it up for videographers too. That's what I think, because all the this isn't part of today's topic, but Nikon, I keep telling you, photography alone won't cut it. And the industry is telling you that video is the future. And photos, I think, are phenomenal. There's a base to it, but you can see how important it is for us to at least be familiar or at least work with someone who does video. You know, I think a few years ago you for sure didn't have to, but now more than ever, you know. And plus you're leaving money on the table, right? LimeTree? Yeah. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. If you minus the video out of all your gigs, it'd be a lot of money someone else is grabbing.
That's for sure.
And so you guys are great because I used to outsource all of it. So I was losing all that money. And then I realized, wait a so, but shout out to you too. Anyway, so I want to give everyone an announcement that I will be having some amazing guests. So you want to subscribe, hit that bell icon. You already know what to do. So let's check out some of these here comments. All right. We got Mark Man in the house. We already know. 7200 F2A. Okay, great. Because I asked a question, LimeTree. I asked a question. It's what are your favorite lenses to use for wedding photography? That's the question of the day.
Okay.
So that's the 7200. What do you guys do?
He giggles
What's your
because a lot of people think it's kind of funny, but
Robert, I think you already know.
You probably do.
I think you already know. We talk about it every week.
Yeah. But you know what? They're not a privy to my DMs on Instagram, okay?
We almost exclusively work with 35 millimeter 1.4 lenses. Well, the one for the Z is a little different. Is it the same?
No, it's a 1.4.
Is it 1.4?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, so we almost exclusively work with that.
Okay.
We really like the bokeh, the depth of field, and our feet move. So like we can kind of make it work. The only time I've ventured away from that is when we're dealing with very large scale weddings in like a church or a place where it's hard to get into certain locations. Then I might snag a rental because honestly, this is our bread and butter right here. 35 millimeter 1.4. You're looking at us through it right now.
Oh, you know what? I used to do all my streams with a 35, the Sigma, which is on that rig right there.
This is the Z 1.4.
Mm-hmm.
That someone else was trying to talk me into it too, and I've been hearing nothing but good things about that lens.
It's wonderful.
We like it.
Is it weather sealed?
Well, I just had a beer thrown on me last weekend and it didn't stop working, so I think it's weather sealed.
Wow. Okay. Well, shout out to Nikon. Okay, yeah. we appreciate that.
I was in the action.
You're ready. So the 3514. So, but I'm not sure if you heard me, Mark. Was it last week or the week before? I was like, I already know. As soon as he puts down that deposit for the 1.2,
that's coming.
My DM will be like, Robert, I did it. And
as soon as it drops, it's coming.
Oh, it is. It's got to.
Yeah.
And
it's still on their list.
Yeah, but it should have been off of it by now.
I agree.
Yeah, I just think that so many people would buy it. It would be one of the hottest lenses they sold.
Oh, for
sure.
It's going to be a heavy chunk of lens, I would say.
How much do you think it will be? What's your prediction?
I mean, at least 25 to 3. But I mean, I'm thinking as far as weight too. It's going to be beefy,
like a Plena almost.
Oh yeah,
it's supposed to be a Plena, right?
What's that?
It is supposed to be a Plena.
There was talk about them giving it a name. Remember? I think we had that conversation on live as well.
Okay.
In the chat.
Well, I'm curious. Of course, I'm curious to use it. So
we need to get that 35, like 0.95. I think that's what we need to do. We'll just skip the 1.2 altogether.
Forget it. Just go right to it. Another 0.95 out there. Have you guys used a Noct at all? Have you ever shot it?
I haven't, but it looks awesome. It's manual only, so it'd be an interesting shoot.
Thankfully we have peak focusing, but at 0.95, I already know I'm gonna mess up a bunch of photos.
This is why my eyes got wide. I can see it in the editing room now. I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Exactly.
How did we miss?
Anyway, but that was the one thing I appreciate about the Z9 was that you damn near never miss. I mean, the Z8 too, right?
Mm.
I mean, that thing, pretty reliable. You pretty much know you got it.
It could be ridiculously dark out, and it's just like, yeah, I got it, no problem.
Yeah,
and it hits the face.
Yeah,
well,
so that's pretty remarkable. So let's go through some more comments here. Boop. We got Manila Martin all the way from the Philippines. Yeah. He's always in. I love seeing his stuff. He does a lot of portrait studio work. Mark man, I had mad gas. Yes, he did, because he just bought himself a Z6 III.
Oh, yeah.
And now, how do I know, folks? Because guess what? I actually talk to all of you outside of YouTube. Okay, believe it or not, I respond pretty quickly. Mark can attest to that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to know what's going on. This is a community, and believe it or not, I know some. Not everyone is as consistent with these live stream stuff, and I'm trying to maintain consistency. Next week I have a gig, but with that said, for all of you that tune in, I want to be respectful of your time and actually being consistent, right? Because believe it or not, I do get sometimes they'll be like, "Why haven't you been on?" And I get a scolding. That happened to me once or twice. Mark, man, howdy. Good to see you, man. All the way from Sacramento. Albert Jimenez. Hello to all. Hello to you. Thank you. We got Roy Bigsby in the house. Always good. And then let's see here. We got Albert. Oh, here we go. We got Fajar coming on in. Morning from the Southeast Asia. That's incredible. Look, we're hitting like every continent so far.
Yeah, we're worldwide.
I know. Fajar, I will pick 2. Handy Sigma 3514, phenomenal. Yes. And Nikon 10514.
He knows.
Awesome. Those are good. I almost brought the what is it? The 105 macro 2.8 for a shoot tomorrow. And I put it back. But nonetheless, I picked it up. Yeah, I love that Sigma. This was like one of my but must-have lenses was a 3514 for video, and Sigma art is great. I wish Nikon would allow Sigma to go crazy and offer their complete lineup in Z mount. That would be amazing. Yeah. That would be phenomenal because they got some great glass, and you could get a bunch of 1.4s for around $1,000. And what I come to find out when I went to WPPI last year, I was talking to Sigma because they were promoting like 2 zoom cine lenses, and they were saying the same exact color contrast, sharpness, detail elements inside their cine lenses is exactly in the Sigma art. So they were saying what you get out of those Sigma art lenses is what you would get out of their cinema lenses, which were $5-6 grand a pop. So he's like, don't feel bad. You are just fine in terms of results and detail and everything. So that's just a testament for Sigma. I just wish Nikon would kind of let them have it.
Here we need some cine lenses for the Z.
What focal length would you get for the Sigma? For your Nikon, if you could.
I don't know. If I had a choice right now, if I had a choice for any lens right now, it'd probably be the 51 too.
Oh yeah,
because it's so universal. Yeah. And it'd be great to have at a wedding just when you're just a little further back,
Totally.
But we're pretty quick on our feet. Oh yeah, the low light. We shoot so much low light stuff. It's the 1.2 is a necessity. And I think the Sigma's 1.2 is at least if not $1,000, like $1,100 cheaper than the Nikon's version. Yeah.
And
that Nikon S is pretty nice,
Which is probably why Nikon doesn't let Sigma run wild with the lenses.
100%. Yeah. I'm using it now.
We would all buy it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first prime I bought when I jumped to Z, just because I love a 50. I just love 50. Okay. Oh, here we go. He says, Roy says a 600 millimeter f4. I want to be as far as possible from a wedding, from any wedding. You go.
That's when your social battery is dead and you don't want to talk to anybody, but you still have a job to do. So you stand right in the back with that 600.
Have you done that before, Tiffany? Or no?
No, but I'm getting there. I'm just kidding.
Run.
You're gonna get that 24 to 105 f2.8 when it comes out for Nikon.
I'll be on the roof. Right. Don't worry, I'm photographing.
There you go. Exactly. I got you. Just smile. Just keep smiling. Fajar says the perfect wedding lens, Roy, if you're uninvited. Yeah.
There you go. I see y'all got married this weekend. I got digital proof.
Exactly.
Photos.
Drunk wedding photographer says, who said beer? There you go.
Probably me.
Should we rename ourselves the drunk wedding photographers?
That's his name. I love it.
Cheers.
And he
Cheers
says
to you.
"Moochie Moochie, baby." There we go. Shout out to you, brother. And then we have Josh coming on in. Yo, 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 all the way from, I believe he's in LA now. He was in San Diego. And now he's getting ready to shoot his first, I'm not sure if it's first, but anyway, a fashion runway show coming up. So shout out to him and good luck. Yeah. I'm really excited to see what he can do. We talked about a game plan and he's going to smash it. He's a really good event photographer. Like, I really like his style. It's really fun. So I'm curious to see what he does. Roy Bigsby comes in. I'll buy the knocked 0.95 if it had a F.
I can agree with that.
I will third that.
Gotta get that DJI, what do you call it? The LiDAR focus. You'll be all right.
Like, I want to test out that LiDAR. Reason why is because you're basically getting LiDAR because you don't have phase detect.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed all the cameras that don't, like the Pixis, you know, all the reviews for the Pixis 6K, they all have it. Why? Because it has contrast detect. You know, it doesn't have phase detect autofocus. You don't see LiDAR on Sony's or a Canon. You see them on Blackmagic, you know, some other camera, a Red, right? Because they all have contract-based autofocus. So I can see why. But if you have a camera that has it, then why would you spend that extra amount? And also, it adds weight to your rig.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
for
like
sure.
handle and everything else, like a pound, an ounce is a pound. And so that's what I noticed. I'm sure it's phenomenal because you have the RS4 Pro, right?
I do.
So you had the focus thingy and what is it? The Raven Eye and all that stuff that came with it.
Yeah. So I got the Raven Eye, the Focus Pro,
the Polar.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you rig that whole thing up, it gets heavy.
It sure does.
I mean, that thing gets heavy. So I could imagine now you got the LiDAR, you got all this, and it looks like, so that's what I noticed. I'm not throwing shade on the LiDAR. I'm sure it's amazing, but I think it's just like, oh, you don't have phase detect? Here you go.
That's right.
So
it's a cheat.
I'll say a workaround, you
there
know?
You go.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, you're absolutely, I think you're kind of right. But shout out to DJI because they're continuing to kill it. And they haven't got banned in America yet. So shout out to them. Fajar says, tried Z105 2.8 macro. It's so light that I almost let my 105 1.4 go. I mean, macro never meant to have fast focus. Exactly. But I do stage gigs sometimes with my 105 1.4. Yeah, the macro 2.8 is a great lens. What macro do you guys use?
For
Tiffany?
macro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a macro lens?
No,
Did you just defer that to me?
We just burn up with that 35.
I told you almost exclusively the 35 1.4.
And it gets some pretty thick shots too. So it's, you know, tried and true for us.
It's our paintbrush.
Okay. Hey, and that's what makes you guys great. But that 105 macro, it's like $8.99 or something like that. Honestly, it's a really damn good lens. Obviously, you'll get the compression with the 2.8 and that focal length, but for macro, it's really good. But if you ever needed one, I would say that, or probably the Tamron 90 mil if it comes out with the Z version. That Tamron was my go-to for a long time for weddings, for rings and whatever. But you guys know better than me. I stay with the models. You guys kill it with the weddings. I'm sorry?
I said it's working, so I try not to overthink it. I think I'd get really lens crazy if I let myself, and I've resisted until this guy started shopping.
You know what? It is how can I say? Gas is real, you know, gear acquisition syndrome. It is so really like you start like, you know, I could use it. I mean, why not? I mean, I am going to use it for work. That means I'll get paid. It's a paid expense. You see, you start all these justifications.
And we start using the heck out of that stuff though. So, I mean, it works out.
I will say every piece of gear he's forced me to buy, I wind up liking it and stealing it from him. So I just don't do the shopping.
Shout out to him. He knows what to buy.
He does. He does.
She's like, "Where's the Z go? Where did it go?
Did you take it? I need the Z."
Okay, Albert. Don't worry. We're gonna get to specific allotted time for just you two. And that's why I'm not digging too deep into your wedding photography experience, Mark and Tiffany. So just give me a second. We just want to go through the comments. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Albert says, looking forward to seeing all of your guests. No, man, I am working hard to make sure I get a solid guest at least once a month, if not every other week. So I'm really going to be on a manhunt. I'm going to be emailing people who probably not even probably have never heard of me. And I'm just going to go for it, you know, and just if they say no, it's an email. So it doesn't cost anything, but I want to make it valuable for all of you. That's the thing. Because success leaves clues, right? If you want to get better, you want to improve, you don't have to like them personally, but a lot of times in between the lines is where you find those gems that just may help you get to that next level creatively. So thus why I want my guests here. Josh says, only done one wedding, but used a 24-70 and was locked at 50 mil pretty much the whole time. What do you think of that, LimeTree?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds. That's why I said the 51.2 would probably be my next lens of choice if I had to pick one.
He can keep it. I still like the 35. I like the 30. So we won't get too far into it, but we have a 35 on a full frame and on a crop sensor. And I always want the full frame. So if you really want to shoot like a 50, we can swap cameras.
No, I'm not swapping cameras.
I'm not swapping. All right. But a 24-70. You know, I have a wedding coming up. And honestly, you guys might think I'm lazy. I'm only gonna bring 4 lenses: 24-70, 70-200. Oh shoot, no, I'm gonna bring a couple. Damn it. Anyway, I was gonna say the 51.2, but I will bring my macro though, because I like what I could get out of that thing. So those would probably be the 4. And honestly, I could probably smash it with just the 24-70 and the 70-200 and the 50, you know, that 51.2. And yeah, it's not a long one, but I don't do weddings a whole lot. But when I do, yeah, that's what I'm doing. The Z6 III and the Z8. Because I sold that other one. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, here we go. Manila's back in the house. Just a gear tip. I put a bastard amber and straw gel on an 8200 and used that to backlight some shots. I like it better than CTO because it gives my pictures a bit of a signature look. Hey, you know, I have zero issues with that. You know, matter of fact, someone today asked me to adjust something on my photo or something. And there's more details to that story, and I was like, no, I have a look. This is how I do my thing. And that's why you work with me. It is what it is. Does that make sense? Has anybody ever said that to you too before? Like, oh, it's like, but creatively, like, this is why you're with me.
Yes, we've had it more than I'd like to admit. And I have to every now and then, like, I try to work with people as much as possible because it is their day. Like, it's a wedding. So totally. They're allowed to have some creative input. But I've had to flip out the contract occasionally, been like, I kind of get to have a little bit of a say on here. Like, please look at and I've gotten better at saying, look at my portfolio before you book me, because I don't want you to book me because of my price. I want you to book me because of what we do, because we're not everybody else.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more. And anyway, we'll get to pet peeves later.
We will.
All right.
Oh.
That'll be our venting portion of the wedding photography episode. Okay, so where else are we? Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. We got his. Josh comes back. First big one. Did a small one last week. Oh, okay. So that'll be his first big fashion show. So that's awesome. And then we have he comes back and says, thank you, Robert. Absolutely, man. He's really, really improving and doing great. So, and look, you know what? He DM'd me too. And I said, you know what? Just give me a call because I don't feel like texting that damn much. And we knocked out his issue in 30 minutes. Fajar says, since wedding photographers usually do 2 camera bodies, what setup strap do you guys have? I have Black Rapid dual strap and Falcon F38 ecosystem for backup. What do you guys use?
For straps.
Yeah, like camera straps, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So Mark takes do you want me to go ahead and tell him what you do to the Z all the time?
Oh, I take the strap off.
We take the strap off, so then we never put it back on in time for a wedding because we're type B humans. And so we end up very cautiously carrying it like, here, I'll show you exactly what we do with it.
Please.
We go like this.
You go like that.
While I'm doing, well, yeah.
Wait, let me
This is a very technical way to hold a strapless camera when you're trying to do multiple things and set up rings and stuff. And so that's Mark goes strapless.
That's it.
That's hilarious.
And I use a really pretty one from Etsy, but it's gonna have its day because it's starting to get. I'm thinking about getting like the dual holster thingy.
Yeah. I go strapless because I'm like, that's cute, you know.
He goes strapless because it's saucy.
Hey, I used to have that. Someone gave me that camera strap back in the day when I first started.
This one?
And yeah, that one there.
Yeah, it's nice.
I want personality. It's not function though; it's fashion.
Yeah, I got the Peak Design. I mean, that's kind of like a default, you know. Get a Peak Design, the thicker one, and that's what I have on both the cameras. But this time, I'm actually gonna get a black dual holster one.
Yeah.
Because I realized when you have two of them, and I used to like sling them on both sides, but then you get choking yourself out.
Yeah, I've done that.
It's like,
and I switch it up all the time. Like we'll put it on like this, and then half the time I've got it on sideways, and then half the time I just have it wrapped around my hand. So it's like I can't really pick a strap, so we just stay purist with it.
I'm gonna go full easy rig with my little 35 mil.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we need the little detachable ones that you like put back on. I forget what the company is.
The whole easy rig with the arm and everything. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh
yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
I whoops, let me get you guys back. There we go. You know, once I went to the Peak Design, it was just so easy. Just I like the little tear off stuff and whatnot, you know, the little button and everything. But
that's what I'm looking for. I
want
to get that.
We need
for sure.
And I'll get a backup strap in case we leave it at home.
So in case you want to throw it on the gimbal real quick, that strap can come off real fast.
Exactly. That's what I like about it. Or carry it like the way you like carrying it. You can just and just grab a few pics.
Yeah.
But the only thing about that camera strap is it's like glossy. So like the clamp it's not like a vice grip clamp. Right. So if you have like a Z9 and a 70-200, like it'll get longer little by little. You know, from the weight.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen. I've had one give out on me. Is that the ones that Gin had? You know, I can't remember names of things, but that whatever he had.
It was good in terms of reliability. It's promoted to hold 200 pounds on those little things.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so you in a 600 mil prime, you know, and a Z9, you should still be fine. So, all right. It looks like we have a lot of dang, we do have a lot of comments, and I am not going to be able to keep up. But let me say hi to this gentleman right here. Got Vic in the house. Come on now. Vic has been let me tell you, he's on my LinkedIn. I see him there. I see him on YouTube, Facebook, not Facebook. Oh yeah, Facebook, I believe. And he's everywhere, man. And he's always saying something supporting. So I just want to make sure I shout him out because he's always showing some love. And okay. What did he say right here? He says, I recently got a dual camera strap if I need to walk around a lot or I want to use primes. It's amazing. It stays in my okay. All right. And then but Peak Design clips in for everything. Yeah. I think Tiffany will enjoy the dual for sure. I've seen them around like what, $90 or something like that for a decent one.
I'm totally game for a new suggestion because honestly, we're starting to like wear out physically. So I think we need something more functional.
Yeah.
And I like that it's like the way they hang, it's right on your side. It's like right where your hand is. And when you let go of it, it goes to the side and it doesn't go in the front like Peak Design might, and you kind of have to like put it behind you and everything else. No, there isn't a dual camera strap sponsoring this video, though I won't be mad if they wanted to. But I think that that would be ideal for event and wedding. Amon is in the house. I don't think I've seen this person in my chat, and I want to welcome them. Hey, Chip, I'm shooting a wedding tomorrow. I have the 85 Sony and 35 G Master. What's your recommendation on lenses, or are they fine? What do you think? Come on now. This is right up your alley.
I mean, you got a 35. You're good.
You're working with what we're working with.
That's what we use. And the 85 is going to be nice if you're in the back of the ceremony and you want to get shots up close. That's going to be awesome.
The 85 is great for like your couple, like we call it the intimates. So like when we make everybody go away and they just have photos of each like together, it's really great for that to get that real dramatic blur in the background.
So that's what you use for those couple shots?
Sometimes I've used an 85 on like a beach wedding, but like I said, most of the time I get lazy or one trick pony. I don't know what lazy is definitely not the word. I think we're just simplistic, minimalist. We're minimalist. I get most of them with the 35. Just works.
Just get closer, shoot it, and
absolutely.
I bring other stuff, but there's like I think more lag time between because we're so service oriented, which I'm sure we'll get more into. But like it takes more time for me to go find the other lens, and I'm not dual carrying because we're working crazy hours, and so it's like this is working. And usually, if I bring other stuff, I don't use it. I still keep the 35, and I like what I shoot. So
right on. Right.
Sounds wild.
Which 85 do you guys have?
Oh, I don't have one. I used one of my buddies once.
We're either renting or borrowing from.
Yeah.
What's the camera store you guys rent from?
Well, now Lens Rentals. I loved borrowed lenses. I don't hate lens rental either, but Mark here has definitely convinced me more into buying gear rather than renting gear because I get like indecisive. I'm telling you, the only reason we have any gear is because I can't claim.
We were renting the Z8 like crazy, and I was like, "Why don't we just buy it? We're spending the same amount of money, and then we won't have to spend money for renting anymore."
Yeah, I'm frugal to a fault.
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
I think they say like after 3 times you should just buy it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's probably a good rule of thumb.
It's already paid for itself. I mean, come on now.
Oh gosh, but yeah, it was a really good purchase.
Yeah, that and it's like a Swiss Army knife, right? You got the photos and the video.
Exactly,
yeah,
it's perfect.
He uses a spider holster. Chris.
There he is. That's what I was just talking about.
Oh, okay. He uses a spider holster. Yes, I used to use that. That thing was awesome. I loved it. And then I lost like the plate, and then it rendered itself useless. But nonetheless, it was built like a tank. That thing is great. You could just smack your thing in there, and it automatically. I just loved it. We got Josh back. I got a desired leather dual camera strap for under $200, cheaper than Holdfast, and allows for PD clips to be added if you're considering it. Okay, I'll check it out. I like the super classy. Stay classy, absolutely. And Amon comes back. I use the 85 mainly. There you go.
There you go.
I want 85 1.8.
R.I.P. Borrowed lenses. I agree.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, they were good.
I remember when they went out of stock, you were dying to get the Plano off there because they were mega discounted.
Well, oh, that's right. You told me it was like 15 or something like that, or 16. Oh well, you know. I feel the same way when I see the next person, win $1 billion lottery ticket. I'm like, it could have been.
It could have been me.
It could have been me. Anyway, Vic has an amazing message for everyone watching. Smash that like button. Come on now, people.
It's free.
It's free. It's free 99. It's free 99. I keep trying to tell them, they don't believe me. So yes, if you could take a moment, like, share, subscribe. Okay. I'm going to be bringing you all a lot more other group interviews and talks with other photographers of unique genres, mostly portrait photography. And if you don't feel like pressing like, feel free to go like these two because they're out there working. I'm just on YouTube shooting these models and editing photos. You guys are shooting weddings. You guys are creating memories for other people, capturing those moments. So make sure you go ahead and follow them on Instagram and smash that like button. Okay, it costs nothing on Instagram. They aren't charging us yet. All right.
Not yet.
It feels good. Just do it. Try it.
Yeah,
Just try it.
Just try
do
it.
I love that. But their work is really nice. What time are we at? Okay, this is about a good time. Let me just double check here. Boopity boop. Oh, let's go over a couple of things in news, shall we? We got a couple. We'll do like 10 minutes of news or so, and then by 6, we'll dedicate the rest of the time to you two. How's that sound?
Hey, we're here for the party.
Copy that. All right. Oh, what is this? I bought back the 35 for all my carpo, wedding, graduation gigs, but since I shoot cosplays and unique look like distortion and compression is encouraged. But I admit, 35 all rounder. Exactly. No,
You need the 50 and then you crop. Yeah, I actually do that a lot. It's super helpful, especially on the Z. That I have that on that function 2 button.
Just take the D500.
Awesome.
No.
You want it cropped anyway.
Oh, you have the FX DX.
Yes. It's so helpful sometimes. It's like you want to just sneak in that shot a little bit closer. No problem. I got you.
Oh, that's pretty sneaky. I like that.
Yeah.
Who needs a zoom lens? Just crop it.
Who needs it, right? Overrated.
The clarity's the same. I mean, might as well.
Clarity's the same. The field is.
All right, everybody. Let's get to the news, shall we? Let's go.
It's so epic.
I know. I spare no expense. Okay?
Isn't that John Hammond?
It was a, I don't know, from Canva. Okay. Shout out to Canva. All right. Like I said, the budget is slim. Okay. That was as much dynamic graphics I could handle for my budget. So you want to smash that like, share this video. All right. So look what we just heard. The Fuji XM5, everybody. Now, as many of you know, I don't shoot Fuji, but I actually admire Fuji. Why? Because their cameras are pretty freaking sexy. I'll be quite honest. Since the XT2, those cameras were awesome. I love how retro they were, even though they were a DX camera, right? Like crop sensor and everything. But I love the form factor. I like how retro it was. It made photography fun. And Fuji is synonymous for making photography fun. Like that's their jam with all their Instax and all that jazz. And this camera just pretty much doubles down on it. I mean, it does look kind of fun, right? Like if you're just traveling, this just looks fun. It looks smaller than hell. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a little look-see here.
Throw it out in the bag and go.
For real. Like this could be, if you're doing outdoor reception photos, you could totally smash it with this camera. It's interchangeable lens. So it comes in silver and black and just straight up black. The silver is kind of cool.
You want the silver?
Yeah, the silver is awesome.
Yeah. So here's the one thing I appreciate from Fuji. They just said, like, this is for like people who want to take fun photos. We're not trying to make this thing into a professional camera because clearly it is not, right? But if you want to get it, we want to make this fun for you. And they're trying. It's look at this. It's less than a pound. It will fit your MERS. You know what I mean? For those that have. Shout out to you if you do.
It's like brings back the time, aging myself, but when everybody had the digital cameras before it was on your cell phone and it was in everybody's purse. But this one's definitely way sexier than the Nikon Coolpix was back in the day.
Yeah. That no, you ain't lying. And look at these photos. What I love about Fuji is their film simulations. It's crazy good. You guys ever try it? Yeah, it's really, really good. So you get 26 megapixel photos, which is more than fine than any other little vlogger wants to do for Instagram. Subject to tech, la da 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 da. What else is there? So yeah, so here you go, film simulation. So you get all your little film action going on. And I think this could be a very fun, camera if I didn't want to use my cell phone. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And I honestly think the only thing that could hold Fuji back with this camera is supply. I think if they can get the supply, this camera would be it'll sell like hotcakes. And I think the price is super cheap. Let me double check the price. What did you guys think of like the ZF?
I think it was cool. I mean, it's kind of a niche kind of camera.
That's the antique looking one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did want that one for a minute.
She was really into the idea of getting that because that's the full frame one, and not the ZFC.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the full frame.
We need two mirrorless at this point.
You need two, right?
We do. I'm over that.
Wait. Okay, we're gonna get to that because now I have a.
You'll get to it.
Okay, check this out. It does 6.2K at 30 frames. So shout out.
That's awesome.
At 422 10-bit. That's actually pretty solid. 4K 60, 1080 at 240p. That's actually pretty solid, but damn, look at that crop factor. But nonetheless, that's, hey, if you look how small that is for this person here holding it, that's a pretty small camera for it to push out 6.2. Oh, yeah. Open gate. Oh, I didn't even see that part.
I can already say that.
Wow. Okay. So they learned from the S9 from Lumix. Make it open gate. Remember how they're a little camera? And ever since, like, what was it? Nikon ZF. Now it seems like every company within a couple of years are now coming out with their own retro interchangeable lens camera. And not that they haven't tried this before, but I think they're getting it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Certainly the technology has caught up to where it actually is a nice camera. It's not just like a gimmick.
Exactly. Oh, look, it has noise reduction settings, which I would figure. This is interesting. Microphone direction, which is cool. I like that. My Pocket 3 does that, so this is cool. So no, this looks like a really fun camera for anyone who doesn't want to use their cell phone. I think it's not. I'm glad they're not trying to pitch it as a competitor to anything for a professional, because it certainly couldn't. But it does look fun, I would review this thing if I got my hands on it. But anywho, let's. Does it show us the price? I want to see the price. Show me the money. I think it's $8.99 or something like that.
That's not bad.
Is it accessory software? Yeah, if it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think $8.99 is quite fair.
Beats the crap out of the Z50 and the Z30, and it's kind of like the same size camera.
Yeah, Z50. How much are those?
They're like $700, but I mean,
I don't think it does what this does.
But it's a 6K. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a much better camera for like $100 more.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point. Hold on, let's. These comments are piling up around here. What is this? Fajar says, if you have Z7, Z8, Z9 anyway, you can still get away with 21 megapixel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, the people who let's be honest, not that I've yet to have had a client that says, how many megapixels is that sensor? Like ever.
Yeah.
They just want to give me that. See that? Give me that. Has been the most consistent demand I've ever gotten from someone. Josh comes back. I've been doing a lot of 0.16 crop on Canon as well. I was a hater, but now I'm a fan. Shout out to you. Hey, Canon's killing it too. They got those 3 mystery lenses coming out. So that's going to be big. There's going to be a lot of big news. And I heard that last week, remember, Mark, I was complaining at Lumix and everything.
Yeah.
And I think someone said they released that camera because of Europe. That Europe, if your camera is sold, if it comes with a cord, it will be considered a charging device and a camera.
Interesting.
So it has to be either or, right? So therefore, the S5D only comes with the camera. Therefore, it's considered a camera. It's really weird.
It is strange.
It was a camera purposely made for the European market. Kind of like with remember back in the day, video on cameras could only be up to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That was because of the shipping and I think Europe or whatever. And like we all just kind of it was like, what was it? If it was under 30, it was considered a consumer camera. And I think above, if it just recorded longer, I think it was like a commercial or it was considered something else. You know what I mean? And I think that was the case for that camera. Because that camera, the S5D, I hate to say it, fucking useless. But anyway. But because I want the S1H2. Okay, come on, Lumix, get your together. All right, amazing people. A Ritter, Dragonfly, Dronography.
Hi, Dan.
If I had too many drinks, I would say it's Dragonfly Poyo. Okay, I won't go there. You already saw what I was going to say. There you go.
We know you're going.
Okay, that was for me. That little rim shot there. Good. Is that your buddy right there, Ritter?
Yes. Long-time friend of ours.
There you go. Awesome. Shout out to you. Let's see here. Thought we were going to talk politics for a second. No, we are not, sir. We won't go there. No nose photography. That's the quickest way to make sure my channel goes goodbye. Ritter Dragonfly Dronography comes on in. Very nice. Love the look. Awesome. Yes, they look great because they're using a Nikon. Okay. I'm just saying. And you know what? So am I. And that's why we look great, you know?
It is.
It's amazing. You put a full frame and all you need is a 1.8 lens, really. And your video will look like a broadcast really quick. And so that's why video is important in your life, photographers.
It is.
We got Josh. I wish Canon could come out with a small retro looking camera. I bet they will. Oh, was it Jared Poland? I believe he mentioned a rumor about a retro version. What was their camera? F1 or something like that? Or what? I forgot what their old film cameras were.
Yeah,
but I
sure.
But I heard, I swear it was in his latest video, you know, his photo news, whatever. Yeah. And he talked about it. So double check that, Josh. Check out Jared Poland. I like his channel. It's super fun. But people get annoyed. But I'm like, dude, I like it. It's
I like his channel. He's a big Phillies fan too. I loved all of his work with the 4x5s. I was so cool.
Oh yeah. That was pretty ballsy too.
Yeah.
Walking out there. Josh says WYM. Wait, what does that mean? I'm
what
too
do you
old.
mean?
It means what you mean.
You were there.
I wasn't sure if it was a question or if you were just reading.
No, I was serious. I don't know what he meant. So, all right. So, digger cams are hot right now. It's so hard to find a really nice point and shoot right now. Oh, I bet. I mean, when I worked at Mike's Camera, everybody who was 23 and younger were grabbing up those old school point and shoots, like you were talking about, Tiffany, and freaking film cameras. Those two right there. And they didn't care what it looked like until they processed it. You know? Yeah, only if they knew how to knew the fundamentals of photography, but outside of that, no, they were having fun, you know. Shout out to them. My first digital camera was a Sony point and shoot, 3 whole megapixels.
Oof.
And I thought I was the bee's knees. I know, right? I'm glad you're sitting.
That's hilarious.
It was 3 whole megapixels. I was going to Academy of Art for film directing, and I was like, I'm gonna get myself a camera because one of the first classes is photography, right? And I thought I was I forgot how big the card was. It had to have been,
a couple megs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. 156 or something. Josh comes back. Yeah, it's under a K. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, that Fuji is pretty awesome. No viewfinder though. That's kind of a deal breaker for me. True, but you know
that's
what?
That's like the Z30 then, with no viewfinder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. But I'm sure this has way better autofocus.
Oh, actually, for sure.
I like the idea. If a Z30 Mark II came out, that would be pretty awesome if it had the Z8 or Z6 III autofocus at least. That could be a pretty cool vlogging camera.
Oh, they'd sell it crazy.
100%. I like the form factor. I like that it's small, and not having a viewfinder didn't bother me because that's not why I would buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want the flip screen, and I like their little bundle. It was the autofocus I was too scared to be able to rely on for these videos, because all of you would get at me in my comments. What camera are you using? I'm like, he says, I love you 100%. I do too, especially for photography. Oh my goodness. We got Greg coming in as a new YouTube member. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Greg. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate all of you tuning in right now. And that's why I'm going to shamelessly ask you to smash that like, share, and subscribe right about now. And hit the bell icon. Because guess what? More than likely, you won't know when I go live unless you hit that bell, or like Mark, know what time I get on this thing and he's waiting. Okay.
Well, I got the bell on too. You know, it's all good.
And then while you're at it, because we're so excited about smashing a like, go ahead and follow LimeTree Photo on IG at LimeTree Photo. There we go. Okay. You can check out all their wedding photography stuff. If you feel like booking them, that's probably a good way to reach out. I'm not sure, but they have the link to their website on there.
Yeah. And we travel
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, really? I'm sure we'll get into it.
Exactly. I was about to say, okay, you just gave me another question. What else is there? We got everything else on this thing. Yeah, super cool. So thank you very much, Greg. I really appreciate it. Your support only allows me to dedicate more time to this YouTube channel, because we're about to hit, guess what? A fat 10K. I can't wait. And I'm already trying to come up with a 10K celebration. And it might be like, I would like, in an ideal world, I wanted to do a sip and shoot. God, that sounds dangerous, right?
Count me in.
like get a place that allow us to, like a lounge or a bar or whatnot, and then invite some models. We come shoot, hang out, shoot the shit. So anyway, they used to do it back in the day before the lockdown. Companies used to do that more often. So I want to bring that back. And so anyway, we're getting to 9,400. We get that 10K. We're going to have a celebration. Okay. All right. Let's get to, we got a couple more comments. Then I want to get to talking to you guys, because I got a lot of questions as you guys talk. Okay.
No.
If you work with art directors, you will get asked how many megapixels. Oh yeah. Good point. Very, very good point. Okay. He's saying, hey, I'm not sure why he's saying, hey, but I'm sure it was something earlier. Oh, it might have been because of, I didn't know what the acronym stood for. I was like, damn, I showed my age real quick, didn't I? Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate it. We got Jason coming back in. I bet it was big too. Oh, I'm sure. What the heck was I talking about? Trying to remember.
It was big.
It was big. That's what you said. Hey, all right. So, Fajar says, redid my rate card. Now I include videos in all my options, and of course, increases coming along with it. So far, it's going well. Doesn't need to be fancy, but clients love the gesture. And that's what I'm not sure if you were around, Tiffany, Mark, but when I first started to do more regular like live streams, I had a stream on Mondays called Marketing Mondays, and I would talk about like just advice for how to monetize your photography, videography, and I would just do it for 1 hour. It was just a 1 hour stream, and I'm glad he added video. Obviously, you two already do it, and it's only going to behoove photographers in the future. What did you see that article like a month ago where that old school renowned street photographer is now like going bankrupt and broke, and the dude's like, I'm running out of money. It was on Petapixel.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, he was like
It's all in the marketing. What are you doing?
Yeah, he doesn't do video, and he stuck to what worked in the 80s and 90s. But guess what? It's kind of 2024, and obviously maybe his spending was still the same. You know what I mean? And just drove it all away, and all those clients left because they're new kind of clients now, right? These clients want video; they want these things. So, yeah, video is gonna save you, folks. Otherwise, you're just investing in a very expensive hobby, which is cool too if you got it like that. More power to you, you know. All right, 16 megabits. Oh, 16 megabits. Dang, that must have been his first camera card or something. Let's see here. Look at these lovely. Uh-oh, someone's bias over here. Okay, I think I need to get more wrestling.
This is it's
Oh, wait.
Lewis.
Yeah, I didn't. As soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, what's up with your channel name?
Like, who's Loot Toys? Arena.
Loot Toys. Wait, this is Lou.
What are you selling?
Are they friends of yours too?
You know Lewis. I think that's how we know you.
Oh, yeah, yes. Actually,
I'm changing your name to Loot Toys Arena in my phone now.
I miss him. Actually, he was so cool on my stream. But I know he's
Lewis. Look, he's got a fan club.
That's awesome.
I used to work at him at a refinery.
You used to work with him?
Yeah, I used to work with him.
Really?
The refinery. Yeah, that's how we met. So,
when I first started my channel, it was a humble little channel, and then I went to Photo Plus Expo. You ever heard of Photo Plus?
Can't say that.
Oh,
we got to get to more things.
Yeah,
a big ass photo expo, I thought, in Manhattan, and it was free. You get to touch and play with everything. It was so cool. So, and then I was there with a GH5 trying to record my video there. I must have had less than 2,000, maybe around 2,000 subs, maybe not even. And here he said, "Hey, you Robert Silver?" And that's how I met him. I met him there. And that was my first piece of like, oh my God, I'm a YouTuber.
That's cool.
And then and then I was like, oh, that's so cool. So we just stayed connected from there. And yeah, so shout out to him and all those that are serving our country right now.
Great.
Cool. Robert Silver looking fresh. Nah, brother, I got the same glasses. This shirt, dude, like I have 3 of these shirts and I've rotated them since 2016 or something. So shout out to Vistaprint. I'll think about hitting the bell. Oh shoot. Well, you better think quick and smash that bell and hold on. What is this? And also share. Well, no one ever shares, but at least hit the like. I mean, the like is like the cheapest way to support this. I'm gonna make sure it remains free for you to smash that like. Albert says my favorite vintage style digital camera is the Fuji X-T1 16 megapixel because it has a special sensor due to the larger megapixel density of a 16 megapixel, which may produce better contrast. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like the XT2. I like the XT series. Very sexy cameras. Cyber shot. Yeah. What is Nikon's called?
The Cool Pix.
Cool Pix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a name. Anyway, but
so cool.
It's not. It won't get you a free drink at the bar. I'll tell you that.
So, this like little orange thing.
Yeah, you show up. Hey, that's cool.
Some of them are orange. Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, we're moving. You know what? I need to get an admin to help me out with this. My buddy Derek usually can help me with this. All right, so we got Latoy's Arena. Is he switching up his name every? Okay, copy that. You will get 10K, Robert. I believe in you, like I always believed in Tiffany and Mark. All the way, believe it. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Randy Savage believes in me. You know, I don't know what it is. Now my feed on Instagram and TikTok, half of it's WWF. Because I'm always looking for something funny and I get lost. Here are the two that absolutely I stop every time. Macho Man, because he's a great talker. Okay. And Ric Flair. Those two right there kill me every time. Mark Man says video is now why I bought a gimbal and a Z6 III and also the Z8. And everybody, I sold today my Nikon Z9 because I have exactly what Mark has, the Z8 and the Z6 III. I just wasn't finding myself picking up that big old thing, quite honestly. And the Z8 gives you exactly the same performance and sensor size. I honestly think, and that's probably a smart move by Nikon, that if they came out with the Z8 first, half the people wouldn't have bought the Z9.
I agree.
You know, and if I feel like I want I could go get the grip if I want to shoot vertical.
Exactly.
You know, so with all that said, yeah, Z6 III and a Z8, it's a great pairing. You're not losing. So shout out to you. And yeah, I would stick the Z6 III on the gimbal all day. All day. And yes, I do have to say, as many people may not like it, this flip screen, because I'm using the Z6 Mark III to stream with right now, is clutch. I don't care what any of you say. I don't care what anybody says.
I kind of wish the Z8 had a screen that flipped out like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually really hard have to try to look up here because we don't have the flip screen. So I'm looking at my camera awkwardly.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Mom. You know?
Right.
So no, you're 100% right, man. And the screen is clutch, and the size is amazing. And the autofocus is. I'm gonna shoot a runway on Saturday with the Z6 III. Second or third one, and this autofocus on this camera is impressive. If you're not a heavy and you photographer and you live by this craft like you and like us three, the Z6 III is plenty fine for 90% of you fools out there. I'm telling you that right now. That camera is that amazing. It's phenomenal. Wish it was open gate. I think they could have done it, but it's an awesome camera. Anywho, let's get to you guys. It's about that time. All right, let's get to our main event. Well, hold on. Excuse me, I messed up. Let's get to our main event.
Oh man.
All right.
No expense.
Excuse me. Anyway, you know how long it took for me to create that sound effect? I had to have been an hour or two, and I created inside of what is this, the Rodecaster 2, and you can create a sound effect. I was like, okay, I want it to sound like it's close to WWF, and tonight, and
Bruce Buffer over here.
Exactly. And today we have special guests with us. Give them a round of applause for Mark and Tiffany of LimeTree Photo. And by the way, we are not charging you for this great, amazing, magnanimous entertainment. So make sure you go ahead and quit being cheap. Open up your wallets and smash that like, share, and subscribe.
Who said we're not charging? It's retroactive. You guys just don't know it yet.
That's tips.
Exact. All right, guys. You know what? Now it's going to be all about you two, okay? Because now you two got to talking and got me, questions galore. First and foremost, what cameras do you two use for your wedding photography?
Let's start with the low
yeah,
end.
I was going to say that.
I'll explain mine. We'll just preface this with, if it wasn't for Mark, we'd have no gear because I run the business and marketing and the art end of things, and he's our gearhead. So I will now defer all gear questions to Mark. But I have a D500 that I really wish was an 850, but it's kind of what I started with. Bought this off of Lewis, and I've had it ever since. And then Mark, with, of course, the 35 millimeter 1.4. And then Mark had us buy the Z8.
Yeah, and then we ended up with the Z8 last year, pretty much right when it came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely a good purchase.
And for a while, we were just using the 1.4 f lens just because it's so good. I'm just running on the FTZ2 mount or the adapter. And then when they released the 1.4Z, I was like, all right, it's time to get that. It's much faster, much quieter, just a much better lens overall, I think.
Yeah.
It's just really crispy. So
And how the autofocus is very snappy.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
good.
quick. It's super quick, especially in comparison to the F lens. I mean, the F lens was fantastic on the camera, but the Z lens is just so much better.
Yeah, I would if you are on the fence about moving forward from the adapter, just do it. You'll thank yourself, especially if you're getting into video, because you can hear every focus noise the thing makes.
And when you guys are doing, so who does the photo mostly? Who does the video mostly? How does that work?
I photo mostly. He videos mostly.
And
He photos too, though. I don't touch video. I don't want to touch.
Yeah, we don't do. We're getting into some video. It's not. It's not going
totally
crazy.
off the ground yet.
Yeah,
it's in the what's the word? Like baby bird phase right now.
Yeah.
And so you just freehand your video, or do you have like a rig? Do you rig it up?
So we use the RS4 gimbal, and I'll rig that up with either some external microphones or a shotgun mic, depending on the scenario. And sometimes I'll just go handheld because it's easy. And then a lot of times, like if we want to get that nice, beautiful, crisp, I have the RS4 Pro and the Z8. It's fantastic on that.
Yeah.
Because it can handle the weight.
And the scenario matters. Like if we're doing like your ceremonies and your get readies is a lot of slow sweeping. So we definitely gimbal for that. And then you kind of let your hair down at reception, and having a little jostle to it feels like you're part of the, like, I always vision when the person's watching it, they feel like they're transported back to that time, and you weren't sweeping at a reception. You were going. So you almost want it to jostle a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's better without the DJI for the racing as well.
It is. The DJI for doing like my son's racing stuff it's hard.
It's clunky.
It's very clunky. It's so much easier to just be handheld and just focus right in. It's super quick, and it's steady enough. It's not like we're running.
He's steady enough. You don't want it in my hands.
That's true. That's very true.
You use a tripod?
No, I usually just handheld. I mean, I'm using a tripod right now, but like for the handheld stuff at the race, it's just handheld.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious for the, because then you could do some quick pans really easily.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So now, Tiffany, if you only had one lens, one camera, like how would you roll for your wedding?
This has been established. It would be the Z8 for sure with the 35 1.4.
Dang, you guys both. That's like both your signature stuff, right?
We both have one. Like, there's one on this. There's one that's being shot right now.
Everybody. There you go. They love to see it. Trust me. Now, if there was another lens, a dream lens, what's your dream lens?
Do you have a dream lens, Mark?
I mean, yeah, I'd love to get like
you want that 1.2?
Well, I mean, 1.2 is the dream lens, but like for now, I think the best thing that we could have would probably be the 24-70, just 2.8, just easy, good for everything, video and everything too. I mean, if I'm shooting video at the racetrack, it'd be nice to be able to zoom in and then zoom out really quickly while the cars are coming by. But other than that, I mean, the dream lens, I want to try the Plena so bad.
But you'll be very upset that you did, because you're gonna be like, hey, this thing's kind of nice.
Yeah, I gotta buy
it. Tiffany, I think you would love it for those individual portraits. You're right, of the wedding and the groom and bride for sure. They'll smash it every time. So let's look at some of your work, shall we? I showed it just a second ago. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So here we are at LimeTreePhoto.com.
For the record, I needed to update the front slideshow because everybody's head's chopped off.
Oh yeah. Okay. Copy. Okay. Now I see. I was about to say that one looked fine. Well, don't worry. I don't. And we're going to go to wedding events, etc. Does that sound cool?
That's the heavy hitter. So go for it.
Awesome. All right. Look at this. Can we expand? Oh yeah, fantastic. Okay. I like the composition here. Very nice. And this is now, do you use flash or all natural light? What do you do?
I like to do as natural as possible when I can, but we do bust out the flash. We've gotten more into that recently, but I try to use what's around and I try to be crafty with it.
Because the lighting is nice. So
I
really like the composition here too. And obviously a little bit of pop because of this what do you call it? This very light background with them. They really, it draws the attention to them, leading lines, all that good stuff. And here we go here. And this is natural light too.
So it's just positioning, like where the sun is. I'm pretty calculated with where we are and what time we're doing things. And I know most of my locations pretty well at this point, but when it comes to weddings, I'm wherever they put me. So
copy that. And here we go here. And you two have always used Nikon?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't shot anything else.
I've played around with Kriskin's Canons. I don't mind Canon too much, but I definitely prefer Nikon.
Why is that?
I just like the color saturation a little bit more. I just think there's more of a depth to it, I think. But every time I get a Canon in my hand, I feel like it's shooting sharper. But I think it's in my head sometimes. You ever just think it's just because it's somebody else's camera and you're trying it and you're like, why does this shoot better than mine? But it's because you're used to looking at your own.
What's your approach to your wedding photography when you're shooting, especially when it comes to couples, right? When it comes to just them, what's your approach?
I come from an angle of what's your story? So I do have poses that I keep in stock as far as if I can't feel something off of you or you're kind of closed off, then I have my go-tos that I can use. But a lot of the really standout ones is because I kind of picked up on something and I'm vibing off of what your energy is. So the one was the couple that you just passed was in the wine room, was hold on right there. So Adam there was the head winemaker for Harvest Ridge Winery, and they were getting married at Harvest Ridge. So I was like, let's go to the wine room, obviously. And it's dark down there. The party's not ever there. So it's you snuck away to get a little saucy with your new wife. So take one shoulder down a little bit. It tells the story. It kind of happens organically.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. And and was this natural light or?
No, there's definitely a flash down there. I had him running around like crazy. I was like, go over here. No, a little more that way. And then I come back a little bit, go a little closer,
And Mark, did you start out by helping her or were you shooting too right along with her?
No. She asked me one day, our first wedding was, oh man, that was forever ago now.
It was 8 years ago.
So she's just like, I need a second for a wedding. And she's like, I don't have anybody else. You want to learn how to shoot a camera? I'm
offered.
Sure.
Do you remember how this went?
I don't remember
I'll fill you in.
I guess I'm a terrible storyteller.
No, you can tell me.
Oh, no, you're good. You got this. You got this.
Now I want to hear it.
So it was 8 magnificent years ago. Hold on.
Hold on. Yeah, you got to get some drama going.
Oh my gosh. No, it was 8 years ago. And I was like, all right, I want to get more serious in this. I was shooting maybe 2 to 3 weddings a year. And I was like, how do I move on? And I never really shadowed anybody. I kind of fell into it in a really odd circumstance. And I got to thinking, and I was like, it's, we jokingly make the joke that we always shoot with 2 because it only takes 1 bad taco to miss a moment. So I was like, I should probably have a secondary eventually. Yeah. I was like, I should probably have a secondary, but then I have to hire and then I have to pay out of pocket. This is when we were really small. And he was like, take me. And I was like, you're like a car guy. You don't shoot photos. He goes, oh, well, just put it on auto and I'm just backup. I'm just insurance, right? 1 bad taco. I'm like, yeah, come on. Well, we missed the cake shot. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember this? Okay, my God. I remember.
The cake shot.
I missed. Sorry, I meant me and my personalities. Yeah, the cake was on wheels and they were like, it's cake time. So I went to where the cake was. And then there was, there's that wedding. Every wedding has the person that is a photographer. And there's some really good ones. Don't get me wrong. But somebody who brought their DSLR and wanted to have a conversation with me. And I got, oh, look, squirrel, ADD moment, was talking to him. and we hear, oh, and I'm like, and I look, the cake's not there. They wheeled it to the other side, and there was Mark snapping away. And I was like, well, you have a job. So
You're hired.
He's learned incredibly quickly and pretty much surpassed me, but don't tell him I said that.
I won't. Matter of fact, I'll mute him right now. That's pretty awesome, and I like that that you two can not only help each other, but most importantly, work together, right? Because sometimes it's not best. Like, I mean, I love my girlfriend, but we were like, I'll see you after I'm done, and we'll be better off, So, but with all that said, that's pretty amazing. So, how long has it been now? Like, you two are working together? It's just been, you said 8 years or something like that?
8 years, yeah.
Wow,
we'll have been together for 10 years. So I think 2 years in is where I was like, come on, let's go. Like,
oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And now, so you've done mostly natural light for those 8 years, and you're just getting into using more flash. Is that how that's going?
I had them, but I wasn't sure-footed. Actually, Lewis could tell you a big part of this story because he's always been a big flash guy. And I got my start. Well, my start was, this was just an extra like class I took in college because I was going for graphic design. And I was like, I don't want to pay for stock images, so I'm going to learn how to take photos, and fell in love with the camera. But I for a little while stopped working for graphics places and got a job with Life Touch, if anyone's familiar. Everybody gets their kids' photos every year. So I was working at the preschool portraits division, everybody under 8 years old, basically. And I had the whole light set up, and they would map it out exactly like you need it. But I never had the confidence to think I can take this and figure out how to apply it in different aspects. So I started asking Lewis to come out with me to just portrait shots and bring the lights he has, because I don't know what to buy, and I'm afraid to buy the wrong thing and hate it. And he brought it, told me where to put it. And then I was like, no, do this and do that. And I kept making him move it. He's like, Tiffany, you said you didn't know anything about flash. And I was like, I guess I do. So I needed that confident moment, and we started buying flashes. And within the last 5 years has been a real big blow up. And flash is a big part of it. You have to have them.
Yeah. So now let's get into this here video action, since I just passed this slide right here. And I can see, when did you two decide to really start pushing video?
Probably like just a few months ago.
Literally a few months ago. It's still very baby bird. So,
so we offer it right now at a good discount because we're still new at it. We want to work the bugs out, right? We want to make sure that it's perfect before we really start. Like, all right, this is the price. This is what we're looking for. It's like, no, let's work with you. Work with us.
Transparent about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You
learn
got to get a few runs in before you can really like say, hey, I'm hitting the ground running here.
Yeah.
So, but it's been really fun to learn the process so far.
We have the camera that does it, so why not?
Yeah.
And you like it. You getting all this gear. I'm like, listen, if you want a gimbal, you got to start shooting video for these weddings.
Why pay for the whole camera if we're only using half of it?
Yeah, no. And that's what I've been trying to tell people, is that these cameras can do it. We just looked at that little Fuji, and it gives you 6K. So if you just need something in a pinch, it'll do it.
Fantastic.
Let's check out some of these comments, because there's 11 of them now.
Oh man.
But I like your photos. I want to talk. We'll talk about the editing process in a second. Okay. Let's go over here and see where I left. Oh. Okay, here we go. We could do right here. Okay, there we go. Mark Man says video is now. Why I bought a gimbal. Oh yeah, we talked about that, but it's good to reiterate that. Okay. Did we? I don't think we did this. Ritter says, I do a lot of first responder photography and also going into training buildings while they are on fire. Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah, he does.
What camera do you recommend for very low light but still have the focus?
It's all about the lens. I mean, the camera matters to a degree, but it's the lens.
But you know what? First of all, I'm not sure what system he's shooting.
He has a
Canon Rebel.
Yeah, I think.
A Rebel. Oh. Get yourself a mirrorless.
Yes,
what is
Daniel.
it? R5, R6, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think if you're using it like that, you know, I would spend anything $2,000 and up. You know,
Yeah.
under
You're
3,000,
getting
2 to 3,000, you'll get a very good prosumer, fantastic autofocus. And if you're getting a Canon, it's going to be bar none great, you know. But I think it's about that time. If you got a Rebel, it's about that time. A Rebel, I mean, if it goes on fire, then who cares about a Rebel, right? But in terms of performance, I think to your point, fantastic lens, which Canon has tons of, and then great autofocus and low light, you know, being able to stick will
Yeah,
be
their,
something,
their
right?
glass is beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
actually,
yeah.
I almost converted to Canon one time.
I've thought about it. I've thought about it occasionally, and then you got to get all new glass and all new, and it's just like never mind.
Nah, I'm sticking with Nikon, but it was like right before I went mirrorless for Nikon because what was the first? It was the Z8. That was like that groundbreaker. I was like, all right, they're serious about autofocus. The Z9, excuse me.
Z9. There you go. Yeah.
So in 2021, I almost was going to jump into Canon system because I was like, I just wanted something that just is reliable.
Yeah, Lewis called me when the Z9 came out, and we were on the phone for hours. He's like, "Oh man, dude, this camera." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest with you." And then like I was starting to read all this stuff. I'm like, "Oh, this is a sick camera, but that price tag, holy crap!"
The gearbox fit him, and that's where it all began.
I have the well, it's not right there. I thought it was, but the receipt of when I originally bought it, and I said to myself, well, now I could afford a red.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go. Next one is greetings, Robert. Hey, Efsu, good to see you. Another regular. Love to see that. And Lou Toys Arena comes back and says, I will always remember that, Robert. Well, thank you very much. I'm trying to remember what you're remembering, but I'm glad you'll remember it.
When you met Lewis at the expo.
Yes. That was so, dude, I felt like I was something awesome. And I was just trying to capture time lapse. If you've been to Javits Center, anyway, I was just trying to capture time lapse. Josh comes back. I got a question. How do you juggle capturing video and photos? Do you have like a shot list planned ahead of time before you go out? That's a great question. That's definitely a YouTube question. So let's go ahead and answer that.
So I've always been the type that's, I'm not a type A. So I don't plan. We do plan to a degree, but a lot of the times, so of course there's two of us and I'm all photo, he's all video. When we do a full scale, if we're just doing so we have the 3 different options. If we're doing just the montage where there's no audio involved and it's really just a couple sweeps, we're there anyway. We'll get another secondary to come work with us for the day, or a third, I guess.
Yeah.
And they kind of shoot with me. And that way he can kind of break off to do a little more video work and kind of get, he can move around and get sweeps of everything. So that's kind of our approach. It's still photography. It's just a moving version of it. We're still capturing the same events. When it comes to shot lists, and I'm sure we'll dive more into like less of the photography end of it, but kind of the psychology or the logistics to a wedding. We have like our standards. Like Mark and I know what we're doing. I know that while I'm shooting post photos, he's already in the cocktail hour, getting the cake, getting the place settings, so I never have to think about it. Like we just know where we are. So I think we just have a well-established routine at this point.
Yeah.
And I know what he's going to go do because I know what he's gone and done, and he knows where I'm going to be, because it's just kind of doing it every weekend really solidifies a habit.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really just adding another player to the team.
And having that extra player, Tiffany, I'm sure relieves a lot of pressure off of you, right? From when you were just start off by yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, knock on wood, I've only ever had one card corrupt on me, not a wedding, thank God. But people have dropped cameras during weddings. I'm not going to call him out because he might be watching. Do you remember that time? But yeah, things happen. So you got to have, our main thing is photos, and people know it. So you have to have backups and double backups for at least that, and we're going to get stronger backups for video. Eventually it will be a 4-man team total, We're just we're not there yet. Again, we're baby burden right now and trying to get our feet
You
wet.
guys sound super busy. So
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing. It's only a matter of time. And shot list. I guess you already answered that kind of because you two just work so well off of each other. You already know.
I low-key hate a shot list. Like if there's
go ahead.
I low-key hate a shot list. If there's something that like is very like specific or outside the norm, and not that I hate it, like I'll just kind of like, yeah, okay. But like I want to know more about your group shots. That's kind of what I need a list of. Everything else, if it's moving, we're gonna shoot it, and we're gonna shoot what we know is important to a wedding. So like, we're gonna get everything. We haven't found anything that someone's put on the shot list that we don't automatically do.
Yeah,
really,
it's pretty universal for everybody for the most part.
They're not as unique. They're not as, I don't want to say they're not as unique as they think. Everything's unique, but like the general,
of course,
the general layout of a wedding is pretty standard.
I do want to give a big shout out to those on Instagram right now. Chuck, thank you very much. Good to see you. He's over there in Hawaii.
Ooh.
And I've known actually Chuck and I. Wow, he was my manager at Men's Warehouse for a minute, but way before that, we both started around the same time at Men's Warehouse, and we were like, if I was 19, he had to have been 20 or so. But boy, I had a lot more black hair then. So I just want to give a big shout out to Chuck over there on Insta checking us out. Mark, the question I was going to say is that like, how are you getting? How'd you get into this photography thing, and then all of a sudden now doing video? Like, how did you feel? How was that process of becoming a number two, and the pressure, and adapting and learning? Because clearly you're working together, but you were entering her house, right? It's like, okay, this is what I got going on. This is what I need. So how did you adapt?
So I feel like I get nervous, like on my way, the nerves are going, of course, on my way to every wedding. Cause like, you don't know how the people are going to be, but you just got to remember, like my thing is if they're having a good time, the photos are going to be great. So just show up there with that mindset of, get your nerves out before you get there, right? Shake it out, get there. And then let's have a good time. Let's just have some fun. Right. And then once you break that ice, I kind of start shooting the camera around the room a little bit to just kind of get people comfortable with, okay, there's a camera in the room and he's just shooting different things. Okay. Then I'll start shooting people. Right. Then it's like, okay, all right, now we're in photos. Okay. They're candids. Okay. Now we're post photos. So you just kind of like get them used to it, but also like make sure that they feel like they're having a good time. And that's really where kind of the magic happens. So that takes the pressure off completely. Once they're having fun, you're having fun.
Yeah.
And with video, right now you're starting to get into video.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiffany, marketing the video, how do you go about that now that it's a new additional service you offer?
So we're working on getting we've been working on like little bits, right? Like, so we have a couple that we've been doing. Some people asked for the video. Some people kind of hadn't, like, this looks really aesthetically nice. Can you take a couple sweeps and we'll save it?
Yeah.
And we're going to put together, because it's not out yet, because the marketing hasn't. The only thing for marketing I've done so far is just the sheet that you found. And I'll talk more on that, but we are going to do more marketing in terms of some sample videos that we can put out on social media and kind of show more of what we can do. Cause that's not out there in the open yet. We're working on it. Because, Mark, we've got a lot of things right now. During October is probably not going to be when you see new material. It'll be a little slower, probably in like winter. But to start, I already have a good footing for weddings. We're on several platforms. We're on the Knot, Wedding Wire, Zola, Facebook, Instagram, and probably some other ones that I've probably forgotten about over the years. But our big ones are Wedding Wire and the Knot. So when people ask, hey, what's your pricing, or are you available? I have a sheet of Canva. So of course I'm a graphic artist by trade, and a lot of the stuff I would make originally on Illustrator, but I can do things a little faster in Canva. So when I can, I use that. If I want something specific, I'll go back to the roots. But I created essentially which I have a sample, I look at a printout of it somewhere, but it's a magazine. So I went on Canva and searched magazines and found one that I liked. And I send this PDF to everybody, and it's, weddings for unique people, DEMDPA and beyond, because we want to go everywhere. And first sheet is, after the cover, of course, is our pricing, because that's usually what weeds people out first. And then after that, it's like what to expect, frequently asked questions, our favorite vendors. But I just kind of slid in there like, hey, also there's video, just saying, if you're looking for one, we're kind of doing it. And that's had our good starting point, because it's, again, introductory pricing. So, and we kind of are upfront, like, we're getting our thing together. So this is a great rate, and we're going to do the best we can with what we got. And thanks for giving us a shot. So that's the marketing right now. It's just thrown into what is already handed to a lead when they get in touch with me.
And for them, it's like, okay, I could get some video that I don't have to shoot on a cell phone, and the price is only going to go up from there. So there you go.
Yeah. And they don't like to go to multiple people. Like it's
yes.
As a bride,
we've noticed that a lot.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, we wanted to book you guys. You guys don't do video. It's like, oh wow, okay. There's been a lot of that. There's been a
they just
ton
want
of
to pay
that.
one person. I've gotten that too, and that's why I decided to stop, like, being like an ostrich with my head in the sand, and maybe I should figure out this whole video game and a rate sheet. I think you're absolutely right. People want convenience. You make it easy, they'll buy it all from you. Don't send them to a vendor for books and all that stuff. Just figure out a way for you to do it. And nowadays, like you said, Canva, you have ZNO, Shutterfly, you have all these things that you're like, all right, I'll just upsell the whole thing. And so with that said, let's go check out some of these here comments. Let's see. Good Lord. Okay, hold on. I wish it would let me know what was my last one. That would help. All right, go to lens 24 to 72.8, and that thing is mule. I use it all. You know what? I love that lens too. Mine is worn. If it breaks ever in the future, I'd buy another one. 100%. And every brand has a 24 to 70. That's the good part. And then Jason says, I have the Ronin. It's a beast. I think I like the DJI Osmo. He was, I saw him at a fashion show, and he was running around with the RS3 Mini, and he was out there like a ninja with that thing. Yeah, he just had the little Sony on that thing, and he was. And I was like, wow, that thing must be. I like the RS3 Mini, but like outside of a kit lens and like your camera body, like that thing ain't gonna do nothing,
Not really. It's good for your phone.
Great for traveling. Great for traveling. Yeah, exactly. But F Sue says 8512 is his wedding lens. Fantastic. I wish I could afford it. Not right now. Jason says, I have the DJI Ronin. Oh, wait. I like the convenience of the Osmo. Okay, there you go. I love my little pocket, but the dynamic range, you're not going to beat a camera. The pocket, the little pocket?
Yeah, you have Osmo 3.
Yeah, so the Pocket 3, you could get D-Log, you could get log, but it's only 420 10-bit. But if you just need it in a pinch, or if it's outdoor, perfect. But if you bring it indoor, you best have some light, because it's only a 1-inch sensor. And that I noticed it breaks up very quickly if you have noise. Hell yeah. It's like someone took a rock to a plate of glass. Roy Bigsby comes in a bit of flash, makes everything better. 100%. Absolutely. I like Nikon when it comes to natural light as well. I'm a Sony shooter now, but I was Nikon DSLR before. That's awesome. Yeah, but I only do Nikon. So my first one was from Best Buy. So there you go. Shout out to Best Buy. Roy says Nikon and Canon have the best color science, but Sony is catching up. Yeah, there's footage I get that I've seen out of Sony that is impressive. The autofocusing with their video is pretty damn good. You got to call a spade, Sorry, Works is calling. Gotta go. Nice seeing you, gang. By the way, Robert, I subbed. Hey!
Can I just throw in there?
What?
See you, Lewis, and congratulations.
Congratulations to what?
Lewis.
To Lewis.
Congrats.
Knowledge.
I don't know if it's common knowledge. I think they put it on Facebook. You probably say it.
They got engaged.
What?
Lewis is engaged.
What in the
I'm
heck?
so happy for you, Lewis. I just want you to know that. He's
Congrats.
unloading for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming in doing this, right?
Yeah.
F. Sue says, touch of flash helps with sharper images. Yeah, it freezes them. Of course. I like that. Where you don't have to ride the shutter so high, because sometimes you do that and you kill the ambient lighting. So King Kruk comes, Rob, keeping it realer than a $2 bill. Hey-o! You already know, brother. You already know.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Even Trump agrees. So you know what? You can say what you want. The dude is if you're a comedian or something, he gives you everything you need. Let me tell you. You can get it under 2K. And I'm certain you can get a solid refurbished on Black Friday closer to 1,500. Good point. Hold on. Let me go back and make sure I understand where he's referencing. Where is he referencing that from?
A lot of gear talk. I don't know which one that was.
I know we you know what? It's my fault because I can't keep up. And it's a great problem. It's a great problem to have, to not be able to keep up. That means people are engaged, but I don't know what I'm responding to. Okay, Mark Man says, I thought about going to Canon when they had the Canon R, but at that time I thought the Z6 was better. Well, the Z6 at least had IBIS. Everybody forgot that first Canon mirrorless, like full frame, didn't have IBIS. But the photos were pretty nice, though. I ain't gonna lie. I tested it out for a weekend. It was nice. But we have Mr. Kaji. There we go. He tuned in last week, and I appreciate him tuning in this week, or she, whatever it may be. I don't know. Don't cancel me, YouTube, okay? Everyone's welcome. All right, now we got drunk wedding photographer in the house. Unless the client has mezcal at the open bar, most weddings are standard issue. There you go.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that. You're like, okay, cake cutting. Okay. Who's getting a toast? You're gonna thank them, right? Okay, great, good. No,
like,
toss it. Oh, you're gonna toss it this way.
Cake. We need a photo of the chairs. We need yeah, I know. I got it. Thank you.
We got it.
I got it.
We got it.
Yeah.
I promise.
So that's what goes through your mind when they're telling you this list you already know.
A little bit, but how would they know? Like, I can't be mad at them. It's just
no. It's an insider thing.
Yeah.
It's an insider. Yeah, I would never to them be like, "Don't give me that." But I'd look at Mark and go, "Just so you know, they want a picture of the cake."
Why wouldn't you think of that?
Just in case you forgot.
Yeah, shoot the groom. Okay.
I
think the last one I got said a picture of the bride and a picture of the groom. And I'm like,
I think it did.
I hope
it surely
so.
did, actually. we got our shot list, and it was like one picture of the groom, one picture of the bride.
Got it. But then when you ask for the group list, they're like, bride's family. Well, what part of your family? You told me about the cake, but I need you to tell me what family members, and a real family, or like,
and sometimes they don't get along.
Like, we do get that.
We have
gotten that.
The mom is married to someone new or something like that, or vice versa. The dad is,
I usually defer that. I'm like, find somebody who knows both parties to keep them separate, because I'm not there to babysit, and I'm there to get your photos, and I'm going to take a picture of what's going on. So if they're arguing and I accidentally snap it, I'm sorry.
Whoops.
I'll try not to deliver that.
We have Roy said, how do you get through a wedding without murdering everyone? That's a good question, actually. Yeah, what do you do?
Answer this. I don't know how you survive.
If I'm having a good time and they're having a good time, we're good.
Yeah, I'll answer mine
if they're not having a good time, I will pretend that I'm having a good time, and it might work out.
That's part of it. I used to work in the car business before I fully branched off into photography, so there was a lot of like, the last customer would really have you in a titty, and then the next one comes in and you gotta be like, I love this brand, I love my job, and then you have to go back up to them and the next person and put that fresh smile back on, or you're not selling anything. So I think just having a much unhappier type of work has kind of forged in the fires my ability to be resilient.
You know what? I think, here's what I think it comes down to is that you have a sales background. You are in
Yes.
retail. I think
Yeah.
if you're going to be entrepreneurial, retail, catering, a service industry job, something like that,
You got to be able to fake it
really
sometimes.
helps you to get that shell, right?
Yeah.
Where you don't take it personal. You know how to overcome rejection.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big one.
It's got to roll off, and then you got to move on.
Yeah.
Totally. So shout out to you too, and your used car dealership job or whatever you do. I did sales too at Men's Warehouse. It was all pure commission.
Yeah.
And did
That'll
that for
toughen you
5
up,
years.
right?
Oh, I could sell air to the clouds. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah. You learn. And it's all about just being happy. If you make somebody feel comfortable, and I'll give you all a real quick little tip that you can take and run with whatever you're doing. Because 90% of being a wedding photographer is just human psychology. It's not, I can teach it. I can hand anybody the camera and say, just shoot, and I'll fix it in between. But I can't have you keep up with me unless you can figure out the psychology of it. But figure out their problem and be the solution. You'll sell anything.
Wow.
That's it.
Mic drop. I need to get a sound effect for a mic drop. Exactly. But I do have a Mario coin.
That'll work.
There you go. No, you can never go wrong with a Mario coin. Let's see here. You know what? Let's okay, this is just growing. Let's get back to you two. Let's talk about another tip. When it comes to planning to shoot for the wedding, what are those two things that you're like, this is share your process of planning to prepare for that big day.
Okay, I got this.
Oh, you got
I got this. All right.
Oh, he's got a different plan than I do, so this will be interesting.
Pure, utter chaos and panic. And then me charging everything under the sun before we go to bed.
We should have brought more props. I have a whole basket. Yeah, I'm telling you, I would have sunk without him. That's why we work well together, because I'm doing all the planning on the computer and the marketing and the people stuff. I do the peopling and he does the gearing. So he's got everything going.
I make sure we got cards, that make sure the batteries are good. I make sure that, everything's packed away in their bags and thrown into the car. All right, we got to go.
I was going to answer that this was so simple. And then you jumped ahead and I was like, oh, damn, there's so much I don't have to do because of you. And I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So my week leading up, because again, we do this about every weekend. Thankfully not last weekend.
Oh, I'm just thinking about the night before.
You don't even think about it.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
So yes. So this is why it's so nice to have two people we're constant.
But we do very different jobs and we don't cross over a lot, because honestly, if you do, it's like if I go try to charge a battery, it's going to be lost. So I just don't touch them. And if he tries to talk to a customer, just don't. Somebody's going to open it and not know that we didn't respond. It's just messy.
We have lost enough of those 15C batteries. I don't want to think about it.
I may have left them at a couple of venues, but we're not going to talk about that. Hold on, buddy. So we have every weekend, we have multiple weddings. 2 weekends ago, we had back-to-back 2 weekends where we had 3 each weekend, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday. So I, on Monday, start working on my weddings for the next week, because if I do it too far in advance, I end up having a lot of I've had the information mixed up. We had 2 Emily's back to back, so I had to switch it to the groom's names to make sure that I had the right people. But I make sure the timelines are fully together, and then I always rewrite their timeline and I rewrite their group shot. And I tend to make on Canva, and I learned this from a videographer friend. Shout out to 400 Home Videos. I'm going to try to get them on with you because they are absolutely wonderful. And what he used to do was, or probably still does, is he makes wallpapers. So I simplify the timeline only to what I need, and I make wallpapers. Excited?
Yeah, I hate these AirPods.
I make these wallpapers for us to use. I'm clearly not remembering how to use a cell phone, but I send them to Mark and myself so that way we can just easy reference. I can't find them. It ain't that fancy.
Oh, wait, you're telling me you make the image or wallpaper on your phone so you always have it right there immediately.
Yeah, and I got really privy to this. And then when we started traveling for different wedding photography, I started saving my boarding passes as an image as my wallpaper, so I could just like.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
super
handy.
clever. Hey, that's
So,
really clever.
but I learned it from a different videographer, and I was like, I'm gonna make these nice. I call it a skeleton timeline. I don't need to know everybody's name or what music you picked. That general timeline that everybody gets. I want to know when I have to show up, the order of my events. You know, what time I'm eating. That's really important. And then departure. And then I go through and I redo their groups list. And a lot of times we have to revisit that a couple of times to make sure they put people's names and not just bride's family, groom's family. Because I'm like, okay, how many pairings do we want? Do we want just mom and dad? Do we want mom, dad, all the cousins? Mom, dad, all your siblings? How about their significant others? Like this can get very out of hand very quickly. And if you don't have a control of it, everybody wants to take control of it. And then it's too many. Pure chaos. So that's my get readies.
Wow, that's I really like that tip. That's great advice, putting it onto your screen even when it's what do you call it, sleep or whatever, you can still see it and know what's going on.
I don't feel
Especially
like
with the boarding pass is slick too. That's really cool.
I can't claim it, but it's been a game changer.
Well, let's talk about the next thing, okay? As we're getting close to the end here. Let's talk about post-processing. Now that you shot the wedding, you prepared it, you shot it, both of you tag team this thing. What's your process for editing all this madness?
Mark's been a big jump on this new process. So it was originally just me. We have our two, we call them mailboxes. We have a photo mailbox and a video mailbox. And so when a job is done or a card's complete, we'll pop the cards where they need to go. Mark still goes to a day job during the day. And excuse me. Get
out of here,
You're not in this right now. Sorry, we have a bonus character. Get out of here.
Is it a dog?
Yes, it's our dog, Winston, who hasn't had enough attention in the last hour.
Yeah, he's been freaking out on the couch. Here,
Let me see if I have a sound effect for him. I don't think so.
What are you doing? If you're going to be in it, just be in it at this point.
There he is.
Yes.
He's here for the party.
There you go. There's a Winston.
I'll give him a Ric Flair 2 claps.
Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Hell yeah.
That's for the dog.
He's a team player. He's the reason I'm sane. So yeah, it was originally. He is my coworker.
All day long.
My emotional support coworker. But we had these 2 boxes so we wouldn't get video and photo mixed up. And I would every Wednesday pull from the box and throw sneak peeks. That's how I know it's gotten onto our server and in the processing. And I've got a production list of 1 million. And so after the sneak peeks are out, I let them know what their next date to expect. We do this in a batch formatting, a couple of reasons. There's a ton of them. So if you had to wait for the next, the person before you, it would get very jammed up very quickly. And I don't know how most photographers do it. This is just what has worked for us over the past years. So I do a sneak peek batch, which is generally the whole thing, just so I get like a good sweep of looking through the whole card. And then we'll do a get ready's batch, a pre-ceremony. And then you'll get a ceremony batch. They're about a month apart each time. And then you get a reception batch. And then if you get video's kind of at the tail end of it. And that keeps people, you keep getting things, right? But B, it makes your wedding last longer. A lot of people feel that like they got married and it's like, well, now it's over. But like you still have something to get excited for because you still have another batch of photos coming. So you get to it takes about 4 months to get the whole thing out. Especially if people give me the time to take the time to do it. You know what I mean? Like the time to really put the love back into it.
So you deliver those portions at a time and stagger it out, and then they're constantly getting new things, enjoying, and then you get to reconnect with them on multiple times.
Oh, absolutely! That's awesome,
and it's so cool because by sometimes after a couple batches in, we find out that some of our couples get pregnant, and then they have us do their announcements and their maternity, and it just goes on and on. So it's nice to keep in contact with them. They don't forget us as quickly. There's 1 million photographers out there. I think we're pretty memorable, but there's 1 million people out there. So it keeps us in contact. But real quick, I do want to shout out that with the computers and we just got a server last year because it got crazy. But Mark literally last week, after we just had a big backlog happen due to my computer, we just got a new one over here that I'm trying to sign into. But we were limping for a minute and he was like, forget uploading. I'm taking everything and I'm dumping it on the server. So he was just dumping the next jobs on the server. And that has been a game changer.
Yeah, as soon as the job is like, as soon as we get home from the job,
He's dumping it
I'm putting it on the server with its full name, what it is, the date, everything, ready to go. It's on the server. Like,
I don't have time to do that.
Yeah, if you need it, it's there. If you need it, it's there. And I'll just let it run overnight, and by the morning, I'm just double checking to make sure that every number matches, and then I can dump the card and get rid of it, and it's set to go for next week. Yeah. So,
and what program do you use for proofs or anything like that? Do you just choose the best ones and deliver it?
That's what we like to choose, the best ones and deliver it. Just because there can be a lot of redundance and a lot of stuff. Obviously, we don't skip over the good stuff. But it's
your packages. They get all their photos depending on the package, regardless, and you just edit the best to the best. And they've been satified clearly that you chose the best one.
If we shoot it and it's good, you've already paid us, you know.
Why cap it? Proofs can get messy. So I have to revisit it and I have to, then go through and just select what's yours and all that stuff. So I kind of, and people will I don't know if you've ever had this, but you guys, you work with models, so you probably have a little less of this than things we've done, but people who've screenshot proofs and then post them and you're like, I don't want to have to deal with that many people.
Yeah. That's one time they've done it and I use Pixie Set.
That's what we use.
Yeah. So my watermark's on there and they took it, screenshot it and used it as their Facebook cover.
And it's like, I didn't edit it yet. Like, no, exactly. Put it down.
I mean, I'm glad my watermark's on it, but even that to me is like, I wouldn't want you to do that. Right.
It's not a good representation of your work. You didn't put any of your work into it yet. I mean, I know you've shot it, but.
Totally. So yeah, I see what you're saying. So now you take control. And if they get the photo, it's already pre-approved by you because you edited it.
Yeah. And they seem, like I said, we don't miss much of anything.
Right on. No, I doubt you two do, especially the way you two work. Okay, we are nearing the end. This is my two-hour situation here. Every time, who is it? I think not Joe. I think it was John Grease, and he's like, "Oh, how long is this? 2 hours?" I'm like, bro, we're gonna go through 2 hours in about a half a second. It's so easy. If I had that time and the patience, I would do 3-4 hours. But I'm not like what an IRL streamer is? They'll go for 6-8 hours, like on Twitch or something, video gaming or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not getting paid like that from you, but I appreciate the members that I do have, but it's not enough yet. Okay. So with all that said, let's talk about what you guys have coming up. Share with the folks. What do you got coming up? Also, any last minute tips, etc.
What do we got coming up, Mark?
I don't really know. I mean, just a ton more weddings, I guess.
It is a ton more weddings. We're getting into November, so it's going to take a slight slowdown, but usually not much, not yet, not until December. So we have Lexi this weekend, and then I have a bunch of fall minis because I can't let my families go. So if they can squeeze in my very, very packed schedule, if I got the time, I'll shoot it. Wow. I got to work on whittling that down, though.
You know what we have going on? Editing. I'm just so much editing. I mean, that's really all we're going to be doing. I mean, we're going to shoot some. They'll be shooting in between the editing, but it's all
just editing.
Is it Lightroom? You use Lightroom?
Yeah, Lightroom.
Okay. It's just the ailing computer. It was taking so long to load things. It should not take that long, and it's just ridiculous. So we had to kind of save up and get the money allocated towards. We didn't want to do another debt situation. I just wanted to pay it out, so we kind of had to wait for that.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And backlogs happen in the waiting, so we're gonna definitely be catching up. That's gonna be the big thing.
Her old MacBook was like 4 years old Intel Mac, so it was just
Jesus,
seeing its days. Yeah, we got her. Yeah, we stepped it up big.
I got my money's worth. Yeah, I think I'm frugal. That's a problem.
Well, when it comes to computers, sometimes you just know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah.
I think that's a big.
It just slows out. Like right now, my iMac that I'm using right here still has that Intel right before they switched to the M1. And I'm sitting here with that Z9. Now that I sold it, I'm actually looking at the M3 Pro chip now for the MacBook Pro. And I'm
which
just
is what I have for me, but she got the M3 Max.
Oh, look at me go.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The workload, it just requires it, you know.
Yeah.
Because I do it all day. So
Totally.
12 hours on this computer. By the end of the day, it's like,
yeah, her computer's like screaming, like, I've had enough. I've really had enough.
Totally.
We need
listen,
the processing GPU on this is 4 times of the old computer.
I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
She's like,
am I going to have free time?
No, we'll never have free time.
No. Government holidays, maybe. I don't know. But
no,
I don't get those.
We don't get those either.
I'm not a government employee. I own my own business. I have no one to blame about myself.
Where's the best place that people could find you at?
I favor Instagram. I'm always posting there and kind of chatting it up there. That's my favorite platform.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm literally everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, the Not Wedding Wire Zola. All of it is at LimeTree Photo. I like to make it easy. But if you're trying to reach out to me to book something, please don't message me on anything on Instagram. My phone number is there. If you want to talk, text me because it's gotten way out of hand. That's all I can say.
And Andrea Gold 99 said, "Hey, Mark and Tiff" on Instagram, by the way.
Andrea.
Yes.
Andrea and baby Scarlett. That was a good friend of ours.
Awesome. So with that said,
the other thing with us is we're not really limited. We're not limited in where we shoot either. We've done.
We should tell you that before we go.
We did a Tennessee wedding this year. We did Puerto Rico this year. I mean, we're kind of all over the place. So,
and we want to keep going. Book us. We won't charge you the travel. We just want to go see places.
Yeah. Hey, why not get a vacation out of it too?
Why not?
Is that what you do? You add an extra day or something for you too?
Absolutely. Why not? Yeah.
We stay for the week. We're going to experience it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
That's so smart. I love it. Thank you both so much for coming on the show. I really, believe it or not, I look at both your work, on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm really happy to see and hear the success of your photography, and now with the video too. Of course, I'm definitely a little biased, but I'm happy you're with the Nikon. But I'm glad you're kicking butt. And it seems like you guys have a great complementary balance. And I think that's what makes it successful, right? So there's so much more I can go over, but it would take us another hour or so. And I certainly cannot do it drinking all this water.
Guess what? There's always another time, right?
There's always more.
Exactly.
We can hone on specific topics next time, whatever.
Yeah, we can. Absolutely. I'm glad you said that, actually. Maybe we'll do a whole group forum about X topic, right? And invite a bunch of photographers. Get your friend photographers too on here. So
yeah. I got a couple for you.
Good. All right. We'll make it happen for sure. What else is there? Outside of that, Mark, I'll DM you. We'll figure something out.
For sure.
My little social butterfly over here.
I say that, Tiffany, because we DM regularly. So
it's because I'm too busy editing. So I don't have the time to talk to people.
It's gotta work. Put in that work. All right. So with all that said, make sure everybody, you go ahead. Where is my banner at? Go follow LimeTree Photo on IG right now at LimeTree Photo.
It's
okay.
It's over here.
It's that way. It's over there.
We're down here.
I could make it more static. Okay. There we go. Boom.
Hey.
In your face.
This way. There.
Right there. All right. LimeTree Photo. Go smash that like, that follow, and all that good stuff. And like a couple of their photographers. The what photographers?
The photographers.
Oh, photographers. That's so fun.
Marketing.
There you go. Let me see if there's any last minute questions.
She's here all week.
I'm here all week. Clearly, I've been pent up in the editing box all week.
Do you drink coffee while you're editing? Is that what you?
Oh, that's
at least 2 cups a day, and then we round it out with a good old glass of wine.
At the end of it, right?
You
I'm
know,
At
gonna
the
do.
end.
I do a whiskey or something. I'm just like, I want to forget all about this stuff.
It is whiskey season.
It's
We'll share with you our recipe.
oh
Whiskey
yeah,
season.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
whiskey for sure.
On October 26th, I'm celebrating my birthday at a cigar bar, and trust me, I'm taking an Uber there. You dig? So, okay.
Drive safe.
Well, I won't be driving.
Don't drive is what I meant to say.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing the Uber.
Yeah,
Because I have like 3 cigars and that, and I'm meeting up with some buddies.
do an Uber there and back, so you don't even have to worry about a car.
Yeah, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the game plan. They want a picture of that cake. Of course they
Don't
do.
you forget that cake, man.
Don't you dare.
You know how much they
Batteries
paid
are
for
my
that?
nemesis. Is it void? Batteries are my nemesis. So many different batteries to manage.
Can I give a quick advice
for it.
here? Mark
for
came
it.
up with it. Get you them power banks. Anchor's really good. There's a couple of the other ones, but because I've left so many battery chargers at venues, we now charge them in the bag.
I charge them in the bag
with the Anchor chargers.
Yep.
That's such a good tip.
It's
Yeah.
really simple, but I've left plenty a small rig battery
just on
at
the wall
venues
and
in
the venues. And I'm like,
Pennsylvania.
guess
like
what? They're
nowhere
in the bag
near.
charging, and they're not leaving the bag.
Oh, okay. All right. Shout out to Anchor. You
Yeah.
can sponsor us, by the way, Anchor.
Call
Let's Talk Photography. That'd be nice. And because we all need it. I just had to dig out a charger, a bank, because when I stream for you guys, when I'm at the fashion shows and I stream, that thing kills my cell phone battery streaming for 2 hours. So yeah, everybody needs power banks. Okay, next question. Next statement. I've done a wedding, got pretty lit. Wild wedding party. High shutter speed is your savior.
It's true.
Yeah, brother. Hey, sometimes it's like that, I guess. Does that screen include a QR code?
What screen?
I think we're talking about when you did your screen thing. Remember the
Oh yeah, probably for the your boarding pass.
Yeah, I did have the so I just looked up my boarding pass, and instead of saving it on my wallet,
You can put your
I
QR up.
I
you
just
did like a
snapped.
screenshot.
I just
Yeah.
screenshotted it, made it my wallpaper.
That's
Unless you
so-
were talking about my like business QR code, I was like, I got one right here.
Well, it's so convenient, right?
You gotta be quick with it.
Winston from New Girl.
No, we're a big NASCAR family. Like Mark used to race, not in NASCAR. He played around in it. Noah's our son is a NASCAR youth driver. So our dog Winston is named after the Winston Cup races because we wanted old 90s NASCAR.
Wow, that's a
Shout out.
Shout out to that. I like seeing the go-kart stuff. I mean,
Fun.
I went to a little commercial go-kart look, for the families and whatnot. But I like seeing your stuff. That looks super fun.
Yeah, he's won 2 races in a row over the last couple of weeks, so he's like
riding high.
Yeah, he's riding high right now. Tomorrow is the last race of the season, so he's like, he can't wait. We're moving him up a class next year, and he's just so excited. Yeah, we're in. He wants to run senior Honda, so it's gonna be awesome.
I won't hold him back.
All right, Markman comes back, setting that expectation. I know a lot of people want the pictures tomorrow.
Not if you want them to look good.
Yeah,
and not if you don't want to pay more.
That's true.
Oh, that too.
Hey, I'll stay up for all.
No,
double the money.
You just got to buy everybody else's contract out. Then I'll do yours right now. But other people have paid, so you got to wait your turn.
Hey, I just thought of a topic that would be great to have a gang of us talk about. Marketing your photography. So
I'm good for that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about a date for that.
Okay.
For sure. Do you guys have a NAS server?
Yes,
it's been a wonderful thing.
Yes. Shout out to my neighbor who's an IT guy who set everything up because I was too brain dead to do it. And I was like, I can't think straight and I'm scared to lose files. Can you just do it for me? And he did.
You got a NAS server, and now you could tap into it wherever you are as long as you have an internet connection, right?
So the nice thing is if you put it, if you cataloged it in Lightroom, we can go off the grid and at least have things called and have things mostly edited. We just can't fully export, so we can't produce it, but we can have all the work done. Like when we were going to
Oh, you have it on offline or whatever that.
yeah. When we were going to Puerto Rico, I called like several jobs and had jobs lined up ready to go as soon as we got home. And then Mark can jump on and help out when we're overloaded as well.
Yeah, when we're on the plane, it was just kind of, we're here anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. All right. Well, that's a great promotion for that.
Yeah. Go Nas.
EF Sue says albums, spreads. Not sure what that meant or what
You can buy albums. Pixie Set offers it. I don't touch any of it, but
yeah, I don't touch it either. I let Shutterfly or somebody or whatever.
yeah.
Someone knows what they're doing. You should put the cards away for a while just in case the server goes down. Huh.
Put the cards away.
Yeah, Roy.
Save the card in case the server goes down. Probably not a bad idea to have some backups on backups on backups.
So I started getting too many cards, and it got hard to figure out what like. So of course I labeled them A, B, C, D, and we try to not put too many jobs. We try not to put more than one job per card, but in order to save them all, we've got like 10 cards, and it'd be like, where's Megan? Like, which card is Megan? And I'd write some of them down. But again, I'm type B, so I'm super inconsistent. But I did have my IT guy come check on the server to make sure. You can put 2. So if you get the right one, you can get like what do you call it? 2 drives.
Yeah.
So one can be a backup of the other, which is clunky.
So
but
you got a 2-bay? You got a 2-bay one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the goal is to get a second one in there because I am so paranoid about losing all of the jobs. And you know, as long as you buy them in a staggered sense, which because he said they last about 5 years.
Yeah.
And you'll start seeing
about health of them.
Yeah, you'll start seeing the health thing, and NOS gives you a readout of the health if there's anything to worry about. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it's very intuitive.
It's very intuitive. Okay. But if you buy one and in 2 years buy another, this one's going to age faster than this one, and you can kind of just like, no, we're done with you. Push this one up, put a new one in, and you kind of staggered their age a little bit.
I'm gonna look into that because I have one on my shopping cart, or not my shopping cart, wish list. But it was like a 4-bay thing because I have. If you saw what's even just behind this computer right here, I have an 8, a 12, and a 16 terabyte, and then I have a bunch of 4 terabytes over there. So it is. I should have done it a long time ago, quite honestly. So shame.
It's okay. You'll learn as fast as you learn sometimes.
Let me see here. Everybody likes the Apple. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Greg. I do have to head out of here. Namely because I have to go to the restroom. But with all that said, I honestly already thought of a couple of topics for next time, and we'll do I'd like to get a good group, like 6 photographers in here, rocking and rolling. So a little round table, and that one I would extend. You know what I mean? If we have 6 of us, it's easier to do 2 or 3 hours. So Greg says very informative, and I appreciate. I'm glad that you all enjoyed all this. I see the chat was rocking today for sure. Andrea, that's her name. Is that her name?
Andrea. We call her Andy.
Well, Andy says they are a blast to work with and for. There you go.
Thanks, Andy. We love you.
That's so sweet. Okay. So with that said, everybody, let's give a big fat round of applause to LimeTree Photo Studio. After I'm gonna give it that. And I think you might not like him, but he does have something to say to you. Okay. He really does. Donald Trump, our previous president, he has something to say to both of you.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay. And open up your digital wallet, both of you. And here you go. A little tip, because folks smashed that like and subscribed. There you go. Okay. I'm not sure how far that'll take you, but carry cash with you. It might not get you anywhere. So with all that said, thank you both very much for being on the show. Seriously, all kidding aside, I really appreciate it. Tiffany, from then to now, even the video right here looks phenomenal. And shout out to that Z8.
That's right.
And I will be referring back to you guys later on. Maybe we'll do something more specific and very detailed about a particular topic in wedding photography. There's
Sure.
so much I wanted to go over, but the time
Yeah.
it flies right by. I mean,
Yeah. There's a
it
lot.
really does. So with all that said, you two have a great evening, and thank you very much for coming on my humble live stream. If I could ever get to my sound effects, and otherwise outside of that, have an awesome evening. All right, guys.
You as well. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be in touch.
All right, everybody. So with all that said, you already know when it comes to this portion of the show, all right, it means I need to wind down. Okay, I wish it was with some wine. I'd still be getting down. But with that said, I only have water and I have to go to the restroom. So I want to let all of you know you want to smash the like, because I have 2 great shows coming up. Okay. Let me load this a little bit. First is in 2 weeks, I have Joe Edelman. Yes, Joe Edelman will be a featured guest on the Let's Talk Photography podcast show. That is Thursday, October 31st. That's right, Ghouls Day here in America. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Joe Edelman will be joining me on Let's Talk Photography as well. The week after, that is November 7th, I have the one, the only John Grease in the house. At least he will be. And we're going to be talking all about studio portrait photography. That's right. You do not want to miss these episodes. Many more photographers will be coming up. So you already know what that means. Make sure you go ahead and smash that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And yes, hit the bell icon, because that's going to be one of the most reliable ways for you to get notifications of my upcoming shows. All right. With all that said, make sure you go ahead and smash that follow button on my Facebook, on my Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Twitter. All right. What else is there? Well, I guess that's really about it. All right. So, of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Post them down below. Until next time, keep shooting, stay creative. Thank you for watching.
Join me every Thursday on YouTube for another live show of Let's Talk Photography. We cover the latest news, interviews with today's industry leaders, tips, tricks, lighting, cameras, and the business of photography. My weekly live stream is all about crowd participation. You're encouraged to ask questions, talk about the cool camera gear you've got or the camera gear you want to get. Hell, you could just join our open panel discussion during our Q&A portion of the show. The cost of access to Let's Talk Photography is very, very low. For today only, I'm hosting a very low price of free $99 to subscribe and press that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming live streams. Now let's get back to the show.